Hey, what's going on, guys? So we're going to be casting this game between Lucas the Heretic in the blue at 12.95 versus our player in the red, Surprising here at 12.44. So he goes for Rhoda, getting that Stratos to his hand, adding an alias. So perhaps we're going to see some E-Heroes, or maybe Masked Heroes if we're lucky. But I like seeing E-Heroes, as you guys know, just because it is a slow-paced deck, but I mean, there are really explosive plays that can happen in this, especially now with Bubble Mans running around. It's pretty fun to see. So our blue player special summons 2G Striker, and then normal summons a Beast King. And it looks like, ooh, and a Torrential Tribute comes out. And that's not the end of the world. I mean, it's not really a plus in this. Ooh, and a Reborn comes out, and Beast King will now have 3,000 attack. And the thing is, when you Torrential, or you basically, unless you warning a TG monster, they don't really minus because he gets to add during the end phase a TG monster, which will most likely be Rhino because Rhino runs over everything in Heroes. And a random space comes out of our player in the red. Let's see what he ends up hitting, and he hits Horn of the Phantom Beast, which is probably really good to hit because obviously he can add, you know, either Werewolf or Rhino, because those are the only TGs people tend to like to play. So he's going to go for Striker, and I'm thinking Rush Rhino is what he's going to add, unless he already has that in his hand. So he's going to go with Werewolf, so possibly he already has Rhino in his hand, and it's good to have like the variety of TGs in your hand, because it allows, you know, other options, and also so you don't clog your hand with the same one. So another MSC from our player in the red, and it hits a Solemn Warning, and that's going to be pretty big. And a Gemini Spark against that. No, I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, yeah, he could Miracle Fusion if he wishes to. That could be possibly why he wanted to Gemini Spark immediately. But generally, I just wait for my Miracle Fusions. I'm sorry, waiting for my Gemini Sparks, because I like them to like MST it, and then I go, okay, activate now. But the TGs, as you guys know, they can literally go for Trish whenever they want. They just have to set up for those cards to make the Trish. And there's also TG EM1, and that trap card that's basically Creature Swap, where you get to select what your opponent gives you. And so it's a really good card. But let's see what ends up happening. TG is also a very back row heavy deck. And I don't agree with not attacking, because if you let the TG player set up and set those D prisons, that Elemental Hero Shining is just going to be not as great anymore. And a Vocal Chevalier, or a Vocator, yeah. Really strange to see this guy played in E-Heroes now that there's, you know, Duality is now accessible for pretty much everyone. Yeah, and a face down Rhino, and another face down card, and a Werewolf. So you can search out to essentially make Trish if he wishes to, although I don't think at the moment with that much back row it's safe to make a Trishula. But yeah, I mean, you could sit there and float for all your TGs all day, and then wait till you get in those D prisons, and then get those pluses essentially with your TGs, unless, you know, the player in the red is also running D prison, and that can be a problem. So let's see what he ends up going for, though. Because he does have options to synchro. Oh, and a Trap Dash Shoot comes out, so that will kind of hurt a little bit. And our blue player is sad, and I'd be sad too. Basically, all I need is TG EM1, and I don't think he has it at the moment. Otherwise, he would have taken Shining a long time ago. And you do have to have a TG that is face up. And our player in the red did happen to activate both MSTs. So as a TG player, you can be like, oh, it's cool, he used, you know, multiple MSTs. I can safely summon, you know, my TGs now, and not have to worry about if I set my TG EM1, it would get MST during the end phase. So he's just going to say okay. So he's checking his graveyard. The thing is, I mean, once you've floated for all your TGs, though, you're going to need to make a move eventually. So he's going to synchro up for a level 5. I don't know what level 5 he's going to go for, though. Catastrophe perhaps would be a great option. And a Solemn Judgment comes out. And that's going to hurt our TG player quite a bit, because now he does not get the searches, and he can't have access to TG EM1. And that essentially, I guess, is going to cost him the game. But as you guys can see, TGs are still a good deck, but when you synchro with them, it's very, very sacky if your opponent has multiple back rows like that. Because if it gets warning, you can lose just because now you don't get your TG searches and your deck can fall apart. That's why I prefer to use the TGEM1 trap card. I usually like to run 3 of those because I feel like that is their best card. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Asian Eyes White Dragon, signing out.